Governing body on this date, Wednesday, the 10th of August. And to you all, officers, members of the community, media, welcome. Apologies, please. I'll move the receipt of the apologies. Councillor Alfila-Paina for absence, Councillor Callum for early departure. I'll move that second, please. Councillor Penny Webster. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Against passed. Declarations of interest. As per the declarations acknowledged to the Auckland Development Committee. Move that second, please. Councillor Bill. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
It's against passed. Confirmation of minutes. I move confirmation. There are no minutes.
No.
Acknowledgements and achievements. None of those. Petitions. Beg your pardon. I haven't got there yet. I'm going to acknowledge them as appropriate.
Mr Mayor, can I just want councillors and people to know there's been some quite serious flooding and many roads closed in North Rodney. Matakana Road, Parkery Road, Tomarata Road, there's some serious flooding up there, so I just wanted to flag that with the committee.
Okay, thank you.
Council.
Right. Steve, can you make sure we get a bit of an update report maybe over the next hour or two as to what's going on up there? Thank you. Right, petitions, none. Public input, local board input, extraordinary business, none of that. Notice of motion, none of that. Councillors move straight to item 10, I think it is. Right, and that is, what number is that?
It's just a motion.
It's just a motion. Consideration extension of meeting time for unitary plan deliberations. Process issue for us to deal with up front. Before we deal with that, councillors, I just want to, at the beginning of the governing body's consideration of this very significant item, make some comment. Firstly, I want to acknowledge the Independent Hearings Panel. Judge David and the members of that panel who were named previously under 5.1. An extraordinary task that they've carried out. I have no doubt that what they thought as they were going through this and what they thought when they began would have been two totally different things. It has been a massive performance by that panel. And in the end, they have delivered what I regard as a very well-balanced set of recommendations to us. So I want to acknowledge excuse me, please. I want to acknowledge Judge Kirkpatrick and the panel members for their great service to our city and to this nation. Secondly, this is the last bit of the jigsaw puzzle of amalgamation. After 2 terms and 6 years, we have gone through a extraordinary and unique process. I doubt that New Zealand and certainly the city will never go through this type of process of amalgamation ever again. And so I want to acknowledge and reflect on the fact that we around this table for the last 2 terms have carried out a historic and unique function, bringing Auckland together. First against the backdrop of the Royal Commission, and then secondly through legislation, and the legislation basically set out what we should do and shouldn't do in terms of bringing the city together. New organisation, new CCOs, a CEO, all before we had our first election. Election of first mayor, councillors and local boards established, Independent Maori Statutory Board established, panels established, a vision put in place, the Auckland Plan established, the first long-term plan with rates equalisation, a huge challenge in itself, policy and strategic directions established, bylaws amalgamated, thank God, and then finally the last piece of the jigsaw puzzle, the unitary plan. I want to just at the start of our deliberations on the recommendations remind you all, one, it's iterative. The thing that has helped me through an assessment of where we've got to now and the reason why I will support this plan is because I know that it's not the final plan. It will never be the final plan. Every 6 or 7 years, we will review it. And at times, I sort of rather had the feeling that people have had the view that this has been like the commandments, you know, handed down from the mount and carved in stone. It is not. But it is a hell of a good first start. For the first council and the first unitary plan, I think we can be proud of the overall direction of this document. On that basis, I want to acknowledge the efforts of the staff, the Pennies, John and Steve, to all of the planners and all of those who have worked hugely over the last 4.5 years, in effect. I want to acknowledge you all for an extraordinary effort, and for many, a labour of love. Yeah, it's your job, but man, this has been an extraordinary employment opportunity and career opportunity for you all, so we really want to express our appreciation for your endeavours. And it has been an extraordinary endeavour. So the history of it is 13 plans into one. Unbelievable to bring all of those plans into a single set of rules for our city on which to deal with a challenge that the country recognises. So we have been encouraged and exhorted by government and parliament generally to conclude these considerations, by the nation generally, and quite frankly by our own community. It's time to get it done. 4.5 years of consideration, hundreds of thousands of bits of public input, and so now we arrive at the conclusion of this extraordinary process. And just some final comments. I want to acknowledge the Independent Māori Statutory Board, it was all said this morning, for their contribution to this process thus far. To David and Leanne in particular, ngā mihi nui, kia ora koutou. I want to thank them for their personal involvement to this point, and their contributions to the discussion this morning I thought were gracious, generous and wise. And then lastly, to the Auckland Development Committee and Penny, as the Chair, thank you. And to Chris, as the Vice Chair, there'll be a lot more said in the days and weeks ahead. But you have stewarded this process through extraordinarily well against the backdrop of a community engaged and going through a process of a transformation in a way that this city and nation has never seen before in this city. And the unitary plan is a critical part in enabling that to happen further. So thank you to you, Penny, and to Chris for your excellent leadership. Right. Oh, and thank you very much, Councillor Penny. You have reminded me, of course, and it was reflected again this morning, the outstanding contribution of the local boards, their chairs, their members, their advisors and their local communities in this process. It has been a full court press. So to you all, thank you, and to us all, good luck towards a focused and speedy resolution and conclusion of these debates. Right, move on to, so we're into item 10, and this is a consideration of the information and process, extension of meeting time for unitary plan deliberations.
Point of order, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
You'll no doubt be aware that I have got an item that, could you just give me some steer on when that will be coming up?
Look, Councillor Quacks, I'm not aware of anything to do with what you've got. I've seen some very brief reference to.
I put up a resolution.
Yeah, Councillor, I haven't got notice of that. All I've got is.
To the staff, I've given to the staff, Mr. Mayor. It should be certainly should be available. I'm just wondering when that will be.
Right, and so look, Councillor Quacks, can we just deal with that at the end of this.
Yep.
This is a procedural, so if I can have a copy of that so that I can understand what it is that...
Very good.
Okay. Right. Look, I think we'll deal with that under item 11.
Okay.
Right. Just hang on. Can we just deal with this first so that we can get moving? Right, away you go, Penny. Right, okay, so there's a very simple recommendation there. Councillors, it is in our standing orders, but we just want to ensure that you all are aware that in any given one day we may well look to extend our meeting time to enable matters to finalise. So I'll move that second, please. Councillor Chris. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Second's passed. Right, move on to item 10. Councillor Cathy.
It's just about the process for, they're not amendments, there'll be foreshadowed motions.
Can we deal with that under item 11?
So we're not doing that yet?
No. No, this is just setting the framework.
Well,
and then
I
we'll
thought
get...
this was part of the framework. It's a question about the process of the amendments. Can I ask it?
Yeah, no, that will be under item 11 because at that point in time we'll deal
The process is not a
specific...
specific amendment, it's just the process.
Yeah, I know, but it will still be under item 11 because it will be how we deal with any amendments. Right? Penny.